Hi everyone. Okay, so I just woke up to take more pain meds and um, to eat. So I wanted to tell you guys, so sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained, but I want to tell you guys my story of my Tubal that I had done yesterday. Okay, so what happened was we loaded up and got to the hospital. They took me up to the waiting room and called me right back. And when you go in for surgery, they ask for a urine sample. And then they have you wipe your whole body down with like these wipes that they have. And there's a bit of an infection. And then they have you put on a gown and they have you lay down and they ask you a bunch of questions and they keep asking, you haven't had any heart conditions, right? And then the anesthesia guy came in and he asked a bunch of questions about, sorry, my nose itches, about when I ate and how tall and how much I weigh and blah blah blah. And then they have you lay there for a little bit, and then they came in and they put it in my IV, which by that point I was really dehydrated because I hadn't eaten since like 6 the night before, and I stopped drinking clear fluids at before 6 a.m. So the only vein that she could get it in was right here. I don't even think you can kind of see the little place where she had it. And so then they have your support person, which was Michael, come back and you guys just hang out. And then probably 45 minutes before your surgery, they want you to go pee as much as you can before your surgery. So I got up and went pee, and when I came back down, she said, okay, I'm going to give you some drug to just relax you. It was, I forget the name of it, but it just made me feel just relaxed and like wasn't worried. And the anesthesiologist explained also that he would be intubating, so putting a tube in my airway after I was asleep. And I have a phobia of getting sick, so I was like, can you give me everything that you've got for nausea, because I don't want to come out this and be sick and puking. So they gave me this little guy. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little patch, and it's a scopolamine patch, and it helps with like morning sickness and just nausea and stuff pre-op. And then they said you will also be getting a suppository. I was like, what? But they give it to you when you're already under, so I was like, awesome. Then they got the call that my OR was ready, so she gave me, the drug she gave me was Versed. So she gave me another big dose of Versed, and then she gave me an antibiotic, and then they wheeled me back. And so then my doctor's in there, and I scooted over to the operating table, and they have you like lay down with both your arms out. And my doctor, or the anesthesiologist, said, okay, are you ready? And I said, yep. And so then he started putting in the drugs, and my doctor was talking to me, and he held my hand, and it was really cute. He was like, I'm kind of sad to do this to you, like this is your last, like this is it. And I was like, yeah, but it'll be good. And so they laid me out, and like he didn't even count down. They put oxygen on me, and he didn't even count down, and I was out. And the next thing I remember was waking up in recovery, and I was like, can I have something for nausea and pain? Because the pain was like so bad just at the belly button site. Like that's the only place that hurt, nothing else hurt. But it was like just making me nauseous. And so she came over and she gave me another dose of something, either probably Zofran or Phenagrin in my IV. And then she said, do you want to try eating? And I said, yeah. And so she brought me ice chips, and my pain every time, like the stuff that she gave me was really short acting, so every time like the pain would start again, I'd get nauseous. And so she gave me like 3 shots of pain medication so I could eat. And then I took two hydrocodone 7.5s, and then they asked if I had to get up, and I said, if I wanted to get up and go pee, and I said yeah. And so I got up and I went pee, and then they moved me to a recovery chair, and then she just watched me for a little bit and gave me discharge papers, and that was it. My throat is sore, like dry mouth from the tube being in my airway, but and I was in a lot of pain when I left the hospital. I really was. Like, again, the only thing that hurt was just around my belly button. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I was just, like, sore and crampy. And so I didn't have any gas pains or anything. Like, I had a few at the hospital, but they weren't even anything. Like, the pain in my belly button hurt worse. And then they also told me the best way to get rid of the gas is to stay moving, so don't just come home and crash out. So I didn't. After I got my pain pills at home, I felt much better. They also gave me Motrin, which helped tremendously, so just ibuprofen 800s. And now I feel pretty good. My belly still hurts like a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys my incisions. So here, I'll show you guys. Okay, so he puts a scope in your belly button right there. That was the only place, like just right here, just hurt. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then there's one, I guess. Sorry, fact moment. There's one right down here. Then right here. There's my other one. So yeah, that's it. It was an easy surgery, but if you guys are thinking about doing it, I would highly suggest having them give you all the nausea meds, because it's going to make your recovery so much easier. And the only reason I'm uploading this is because I hadn't found like one like Tubal ligation story like explaining exactly what happens, like how you feel, and like that they do put a tube down your throat and whatnot. That was what I was really freaking out about. But you know what? I didn't even notice. I was already asleep. And I really enjoyed that they gave the suppository when I was asleep, because I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be traumatized. But all went well. And I don't have stitches. I just have glue on my incisions. And I go back 7 to 10 days. I'm on pelvic rest till then. And he also used, I believe, the Filshie clamps. So my tubes have these little clamps on them, and the tissue underneath will die under there, so that's really good. Cauterization is not like your tubes will grow back. And then he doesn't do the kind where they loop the tube anymore. He says that's old school. So other than that, that was about it. It wasn't that scary. Just at the end, it was just painful. I just was like, please, just give me more pain meds, like, so I can eat. And I've eaten fine and kept everything down. And so far, so good. I'm just happy to be done. So, anyways, okay. Well, that is my Tubal story. The surgery took about 45 minutes from the time that I went to sleep till the time that the ligation was done. And then I slept in recovery, I guess, then from like 4:45, because we started about 4, till 6 when I woke up. So yeah, that's my story. So anybody who's looking to get it done, so far I would highly recommend it. It was easy. It's just going to be nice not to have to worry about babies. Sorry about my hair. Of course, they have you like scrubbed down and you can't do anything. And then also I'm wearing my C-bands after surgery just to, because you are a little bit nauseous, I think, just from pain. At least I am. So anyways, you guys, okay, well, have a good night.